naturally smelly.
Reminds me of,
Funny.
you know, being a mom and driving around a bunch of sweaty kids in the car and saying, driving along and saying, okay, put your shoes back on. Whoever took them off, put them back on now. Or roll down all the windows.
My feet aren't smelly though.
No? Oh, goodness. Remind me. Let's do our intro first. Remind me what that. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to episode 66 of Podcast On, brought to you by Barb and Cynthia from
River City Yarns.
Oh, we're so good. It's so good to be here with you today.
It is.
Thank you for coming out and joining us on our podcast. We have a podcast about life in a yarn shop in Edmonton, Alberta, and we talk about all kinds of yarny things. And as we've evolved into an online yarn shop, oftentimes what you'll find is that our conversation veers towards online kinds of things that are happening. So this is a great example.
That's
our
right.
Podcast. Yeah.
And this weekend we've had so much fun. We've been actually going out and meeting people.
We have attended our first in-person yarn event in
Public.
2.5 years.
Yeah, Public Yarn Festival, Edmonton Fiber Frolic.
That's right.
Happened. And
yeah.
It was so much fun. It was great to connect with our community and see everybody who we hadn't seen, some people for years.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd seen them online on Zoom, but it's different, right?
Yeah. So on Saturday, May 28th, we went to the Italian Cultural Center here in Edmonton, and we set up a very small booth. The room that we were in was small, on the small side. It's a small festival, but it's growing. Every year it gets a little bigger.
But powerful. There were over 35 local vendors and even vendors from other provinces that had come to show their things that they make.
Yeah.
What a collection.
Yeah.
What a collection. I think we've got footage.
We are. So stay on or skip to the end. But we're going to put in a little photo video collage of some of the film that we took while we were at the Edmonton Fiber Frolic, and we'll introduce you to some really innovative makers.
And on our agenda today, we're going to show you things that we grabbed from the Frolic, some of our stash.
I got to preface this with I only got to go out for 5 minutes and shop.
Wow.
I went out to take some video footage. There was a little break in the crowd, and so I thought I'll go and walk around.
Was that when you caught me shopping?
No. No, but I went out to go shopping, and the first booth I came to, I stopped and bought something, and then I checked my camera, and I just had I had enough battery on my phone to pay for my purchase. I had to go back to the booth and charge it up again. So that's my sad story. So I only got to go to one place, but you got to go to more. You were the social butterfly yesterday.
Well, I was filming, content for the podcast of different booths. I just handed them my credit card and said, I'll take one of those and two of those.
There was quite a selection.
Easy.
So you're going to show us what you got?
Sure. Do you want to go there?
Yeah, let's go there.
Well, you start because you got yours right here on the table.
I do, because my purchase is so small. I'm going to do my shopping online later because I know that whatever you got, I'm going to want one too.
Well, let's just preface this because Cynthia's going to show you something from Ginger Snap.
Yeah.
And Kim from Ginger Snap showed up on our frolicky night in Canada.
Right.
That we had. And this is a take on our hat trick yarn. Every year, Carolyn Sommerfeld and I and Cynthia do sort of a hockey night in Canada around the frolic time. And then Kim popped up and she showed us this yarn that she was bringing to the frolic, which we all went, oh my God, that's so cool.
It is really cool. So they call this Zebra, right? Because it has and we'll give you a close-up view of this in a little bit, but it has a strand of a barber pole kind of plied yarn running through it, and she said that shows up under black light, it reflects under black light. So
okay, so For those of you who don't know what a black light is, take it from someone in the 70s. This is really cool.
Yeah, like if you went to, if you went to the roller rink, listen to me. If you if you went to any nightclubs in the 80s, there might be
80s
and 90s.
Okay. Oh, okay. Cool. I didn't know.
There might be, yeah, because we used to wear white T-shirts. Remember?
Well, I remember posters. That was the big thing.
Oh.
And everyone had posters in their bedroom and a black light, right?
Oh.
And so, the poster would change colors and it'd be very cool. And anybody wearing a white shirt would look blue. It was just the coolest time to be a teenager.
So that's what's in here. But, I just love the color. So I was talking to Colin. So it's Kim and Colin. Colin does the dyeing, I believe, and Kim sews these gorgeous bags.
Yeah.
And so I was picking out a color for some socks for my husband. And then I was looking at this kind of rainbow one. And then Colin told me that this was kind of like a dyer's, not a dyer's reject, but he didn't like it. He said the colors were kind of muddy.
Yeah.
So they call it dirty zebra.
Dirty zebra.
Yeah.
And then they popped this little mini in with it.
I didn't think the colors were muddy at all.
No.
So I said, sure, that's for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you got kind of like a one-off, a special skein.
Exactly. And that's me.
I know.
I'd rather have muddy colors and know that nobody else has that exact.
How cool is this?
It's really cool.
They have an Etsy shop.
They do.
Yes. And she told me that they're getting a website too.
Good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
So this is I think she probably got sold out at the show.
Well, I'm sure that she'll bring more in, but we will, and in the show notes below, we'll put a link to Kim and Colin's business. It may just be an Instagram handle, but that doesn't, because a lot of these indie dyers will post up their newest stuff on Instagram. So we'll give you a way of connecting with them for sure.
Okay. and then what else did you get?
So they had this gorgeous display. Kim told us during Frolicky Night in Canada that she challenged Colin to create something new, and so he came up with something called Buffalo Plaid. And so the colors in here are that exact red and black that the Buffalo Plaid colors are. And then they've paired it up with 3 little mini skeins. So what got me was that I saw this sock, that looked like Buffalo Plaid socks, like monkey socks, like Canadian lumberjack socks, and I just had to have it.
Did you see the sweater?
I did. It was gorgeous, a top-down yoke sweater with beautiful kind of icy design in it.
I think she should keep going on this because she told me that this is what took them through COVID. She said they sold like 5,000 skeins of Buffalo Plaid.
Yeah, and so I got completely suckered into the whole customer thing, which is you see something that you love and then you buy the yarn for it.
Yes.
So these will be, very expensive socks, but who cares? They're just going to be adorable.
Oh, yeah.
So that's my purchase.
Is there any limit on it? I mean, really, you could spend $20 on coffee.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
It's more about time. Right?
Yes.
Like, do you have time to drink all the coffee that you bought?
Well, and the joy that you're going to get making those socks.
Oh yeah, I love
every stitch
is
just going to be beautiful.
All right, so now show us your stash, Barb.
Okay, well, I was on
the
hunt, just a small one. I've ran into this lady.
Is that hand spun? Wow.
I do have a weakness for hand spun.
I love it.
I appreciate the time and the effort and the artistic creativity that goes into making hand spun. So she had
that's gorgeous.
a very small amount.
Would you put these two together?
Well, hold on.
Oh, there's more.
There's more.
Oh, and this has sparkle in it. Barb.
I know.
This has stellina in it.
I know.
Wow. And that one too.
And this one too. So I bought all that she had.
This is all the hand spun she had?
Well, yeah.
Wow.
She had some others, some black and white, which I did not get. But
this is beautiful.
This reminds me a little of Spin Cycle, because it's got that sort of colored look.
Yeah.
But the thing that enchanted me was all of the thin and thick and the, you know, sort of rugged, not rugged, the rustic look. Like
Organic.
just, yeah. It's fat in some areas and thin in others. And so
Beautiful.
I have this thought about doing a patchwork sort of poncho, or you know, like an easy folded poncho, but with sections, patches in it of different yarns.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the same kind of texture,
Yeah.
but different. I don't know. It's just still percolating.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I love these two together. And then
well, all these colors go so nicely with neutrals. Like you could,
Yeah.
you know, if you could wear black with it, you could wear blue jeans with it. You could wear this with a white outfit, you know, like.
you could.
Yeah.
You absolutely could. I mean, you could take something like this,
Yeah.
and this could now be the yoke of a sweater.
Yeah.
You know, and or it could go.
Yeah.
Like
Wouldn't that
really-
make a lovely cowl to go on here
Yeah.
too? You know, if you just wanted to stay
Exactly.
simple. Yeah.
Something really simple. So then, right next door to her was
You don't get far at these things, do you?
Ancient Arts.
Ah,
And-
our friends at Ancient Art.
And so I thought, oh, I'm just going to
Oh,
do a little
delicacy.
color matching.
Well, yeah. Oh, look at that.
Yeah. So I thought, you know, because
beautiful.
you never know when a girl wants to just add a little mohair silk
A girl or Barb?
to her project.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I got some of this.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yes. I think, oh, yeah, you know, like,
Oh.
you could make yourself a beautiful sweater too just by striping these two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I thought, too, we could even add our Epic yarn. You know, because we've got 3 different shades of grays in Epic. This
Yeah.
could make a beautiful sweater. And then
Yeah, you know what?
Caitlin-
There really isn't, like,
Yeah.
in any of these, because of all the colors that are in there really isn't a bad combination.
I
is there?
know, even the pink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it would go really nice with neutrals.
Yeah.
And
That's a great investment and recognition of a fiber artist.
well, and I have to say, this mohair silk,
Yes.
Carolyn gets the best bases. I don't, you know, she finds these gems and then dyes them in such a way. Like, look at the different greens in here.
Yeah.
This yarn is called Delicacy. I'm pretty sure you can buy it on her website. And this one's called Spring Leaf. It's 75 Super Kid mohair, 25 mulberry silk. And it just dyes up with so much tonality in the skein. It's beautiful.
Yeah. This is what we used when we did our flock together knit along. We
Yes.
used Delicacy plus her merino single.
Yeah.
And we've got some merino singles coming up in the podcast. So stay tuned. You might be inspired to add some Delicacy to that too.
Yeah. So that's what I found.
That's
And
lovely.
there were so many great vendors there.
Yeah.
There were people that had pottery. There were people that had bags.
Laser cut stuff, roving.
Yes, lots of dyed roving. Such a unique, curated collection of makers.
I suspect that the organizers are going to get some requests to have a 2-day event next year.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to build a booth, have it open for 6 hours, and then tear it all down, right? And for those who came from out of town, maybe that's probably a nice thing in that they, you know, they're not taking too much time out of their dyeing schedule, for example.
Yeah.
But I think for the customers, it would have been nice to have 2 days, right? And,
Did I mention where the name of this one?
no.
This is Andrea's Hand Spuns. And what does that say? Andrea's Hand Spuns.
Very faint. Andrea Ash.
Oh, Andrea's handspuns.ca.
.ca. Yeah.
So she's got, and her name is Andrea Geldart from Edmonton, Alberta.
I might say Geldart.
Okay.
Yep. Very nice.
Yes, Andrea's handspuns.ca.
Yeah.
And she's also on Instagram and on Facebook, so you can find her there.
And again, we'll put links, we'll put the information down below in the show notes. So if you want to follow up on any of the vendors that we saw there,
Yeah,
we can.
and pick some of this up.
We did it last month as well. So last month we included the Instagram names for everybody that contributed to the gift bag that we gave away.
Right, that's right.
And
Yeah. So yeah, maybe I'm sure the Edmonton Fiber Frolic website would still have all of the vendors listed there too, right?
yeah. So
It
we'll
was so
just
much
make
fun.
it easy for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to be a sponsor as well, and we took a winding station.
We did. We created a winding station at the Fiber Frolic, and we brought all of our RC. We brought not all. We brought a great sampling of our RCY original yarns. So we brought Epic. We brought Hat Trick Semi-Solid. And we brought Adam and Eve. We wanted to give people an opportunity to see and feel and touch and see the yarns up close, but also look at some of the samples of things that we made. And we've created kits for everything too.
Yeah.
So we had a good time showing off some of the samples and
helping people to shop online. I think about 80% of our customers are online already, but there were a few who were still a little bit new to online shopping.
yeah.
And so Cynthia created the neatest QR codes. So people were able to take their phone and just take a photograph of it.
You don't even have to take a photograph of it. You just use your camera on your phone to scan the QR code, and it takes you right to the place on the website where that thing is.
Yeah, so it was really neat.
Yeah.
And and I think that's the way shopping's going, right? It's becoming sort of a get it now sort of thing on your phone.
Yeah. I mean, we have a whole store full of yarn, and you know, you really can't bring enough, right? And you don't know what to bring, and so you gotta make those decisions on what you're going to bring, what you're going to move over. And so we thought we're really close. We have curbside pickup, so for those who are coming to the in-person event, it'd be really easy to just place an online order and then zip over to the store and do curbside pickup.
Lots of people did that too. They were adding on needles and other things, and they were heading right from the Frolic right over to our shop.
Yeah.
It worked out great.
We did extended curbside hours as well, so that way people could come a little bit after. Well, they could stay till the end of the Frolic and then come over for it. So it was a really good event. We had a lot of fun,
and we collected money too. I forget. Has anyone?
I don't think we've. Well, it will have been counted by the time this comes out. But we did collect at the winding station. We collected $1 for every 100 meters of yarn that we wound up, and the contributions are going to the Alzheimer's Society.
Yeah.
Because we have another event coming up.
Yes.
That's related to Alzheimer's.
So let's chat about that.
Yeah. So on June 19th, we're River City Yarns and 4 other local yarn shops are participating with Ann Budd to raise funds and awareness for the Alzheimer's Society on Sunday, June 19th. It's also Father's Day, by the way, but Anne wanted to do this on the longest day of the year.
Right. Somebody asked us about the date, you know, because is June 19th Father's Day?
It is, yeah. And technically, the longest day of the year, I believe, is June 21st. It changes. It's the 21st or the 22nd of each year. But anyway, it's a weekday, and Anne thought people might be more inclined to knit along with her if she held it on a weekend.
Yeah.
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 So, yeah.
And Alzheimer's is really close to Cynthia and I, too. Our dad, you know, I think had sort of Alzheimer's or early onset dementia.
He had dementia caused by strokes. Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a lot of similarities between those two. And the Alzheimer's community helped us an awful lot kind of deal with that and understand and recognize some of the challenges associated with that. Yeah. And so it's always been a really sort of close to the heart charity for us.
For sure. I think
to fundraise for.
Yeah. The thing that, you know, helped me the most was being able to go to an event as a family and learn about the disease or the condition, and also some strategies for dealing with a parent who is going through it, because it's really difficult for everybody. So yeah, I think it's a great idea to participate and to help in funding research, funding support for families and for patients. It's
And it's always it feels really good, and it's I think something that we've been doing all year long with Yarnacorn too. Our whole Yarnacorn kind of promotion is around the idea of donating and giving to others. And I think Alzheimer's is one of those groups that doesn't get as much as others, right? It's probably not. So I think it's one of those things that every dollar really makes a difference.
You're right, Barb, and we've been working every month with Yarnacorn to find a good organization to donate to. And I don't know if it's a problem or a challenge, but there are a lot of needs out there.
Yes.
And so when you make a donation to a group, you're not making it to another group, right?
Yes.
And so you have to sit down and say, what are we going to support and why?
Yeah, exactly.
And does something take precedence over something else? So it's good that Anne does this every year.
Yes.
On the longest day, she'll do an activity. So what's happening with Anne is that she's created a pattern for a cowl. And do you remember what the cowl's called?
Fading Memories.
Oh, you're so good.
Well,
and she's done it out of a gradient yarn, and we did it out of a non-gradient yarn. We did it with 3 balls, and we created our own kind of gradient colorway with it.
Cynthia came up with an addendum. And I hate to brag, but she is really, really bright. And she took Anne's pattern, and because I love this yarn. This is called Musante, and it's an Italian blend of several different yarns, merino wool being one of them, but it also has a little bit of Angora and cashmere in it. And I said to Cynthia, how could we develop our own gradient? This skein is just a really beautiful light gray, a powdery gray. This one is more of a silvery gray. And then this beautiful bright red. How could we kind of do our own transition on this? And so you came up with an addendum.
Yeah,
She's going to be modest and say it was super easy.
Well, I did actually have to break out a few sheets of paper and figure it out.
And swatch.
Yeah, it's just basically, accelerating stripes over the number of rows that the pattern calls for. And so if you don't have a gradient yarn and you want to use 2 or 3 yarns and create your own kind of fade from one color to the other, you can do that. And so what we've done is we've put together some kits with 3 balls of Musante in them, and the 3 balls of Musante will actually make 2 cowls.
I know.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that. So you could do one the other way around.
Yeah.
I think this one uses the most of this first yarn.
Yeah, because you're decreasing a little bit as you go up. Yeah, and so if you want to knit along with us, you don't have to buy the kit.
No.
You don't have to knit the cowl, but that's how Anne is raising money for Alzheimer's. So she's created a pattern. We'll put a link to it down in the notes below, and that pattern, every purchase of that pattern is a contribution to the Alzheimer's Fund through Anne Budd. So you buy Anne's pattern, you make a contribution to the Alzheimer's Society. And Anne's going to be knitting a cowl all day on June 19th, and you can knit along with her. Each of the 5 yarn shops. Yeah, we've each got an hour-long Zoom session where we'll be calling in to knit along with Anne and keep her motivated and keep you motivated as you work along with us as well.
So if anybody needs help with doing that pattern or with cables, do you think Anne would also be sort of instructing a little bit too?
Possibly. I think, I don't know for sure.
She'd
the
answer
intention,
questions.
of course, she's going to, yes. The intention is to kind of, have a visit, I think. And you know, if you did need help with cables, we've got a class for that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Anne's also going to hand out prizes and stuff too, right?
Yes.
So
Each of the yarn shops that's participating is also doing something to support the cause. So some of the yarn shops will be selling kits at a price for which you'll also be making a contribution. And we decided what we would do is for everybody who makes a contribution directly to Anne's Fund for Alzheimer's, and there's a link on our webpage, we will contribute the gift of a pattern that's been designed by Anne exclusively for our store. So if you contribute to the Alzheimer's Society directly through Anne, then she'll have a promo code for you that you can use to redeem it for one of the patterns she's designed for us.
that's excellent.
Yeah,
So somebody could do the chocolate mousse hat.
Yeah.
Or
Shinny Mitts or Heavenly Mitts. Yeah. Aiden.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. And so, but we also have kits. If you want to do what we did, we have kits available for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we've knit this one. Mm-hmm. I'm just thinking, oh, you might want to use this one for that. Your buffalo plaid.
Yeah.
Whoa. Or I might want to use my hand spun too.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the pattern was written in a fingering weight yarn, and this is not. We've used a fatter yarn.
Yeah.
But as you can see, it works quite nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So join us. Come along and raise money for the Alzheimer's community at the same time and join us, and then stay all day because they're going to go from one shop to the other.
Yeah.
And visit with Anne Budd. How fun is that?
We'll put a link to our registration page in the show notes below. And on our registration page, you'll have the information that you need to be able to connect with the other yarn shops that are supporting this event. So you can travel along with Anne all day long. The sign-ups for the Zoom events are all completely free. And each time you log in, you'll have a different yarn shop host / moderator there to help you out. So it'll be great.
Well, that links in really nicely to what you're working on with Gail from Longmont Yarn Shop and all the other shop owners. Do you want to tell everybody about that fun summer activity?
Yes. So Gail is the owner of Longmont Yarn Shop in Longmont, Colorado. And she is the sort of spearheaded the whole Fiberside Chats event. And Fiberside Chats are an hour-long visit with designers, instructors,
artists,
museum curators, like the most interesting people who have some sort of connection to the fiber world. And Gail has a lot of pull. Like she's able to get some really cool people to come.
I know. She's having Stephen West.
Just had Stephen West. Yeah. And now, and the one coming up is Marie Green. We'll talk about that in a second. But Fiberside Chats will take a break for the summer because it's, everybody needs a break. Yeah. So the 32 yarn shops that are involved in Fiberside Chats, because it's not just about Gail and Longmont Yarn Shops. She's invited a number of other yarn shops to join along with her. So when you sign up for a Fiberside Chat, make sure to find your local yarn shop in the drop-down list, because we get a little bit of a financial piece of that registration. So that helps support all of the yarn shops. Yeah. So for the summer, we thought it'd be really cool to do a shop hop and go and visit each of the yarn shops that are involved in Fiberside Chats.
Can you imagine? That's like a road trip around North America.
It is.
Honest to God. I mean, because you got all these different yarn shops, so you can go from, Texas to Florida to Colorado to Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, because we're going to be part of this. We're so excited.
Yes. So we're going to do this on Sundays in July and August. It'll be at the same time and the same login codes every week. And for 1 hour, you'll spend 15 minutes 4 times. So in the hour, we'll have 4 shops, and each shop will get about 15 minutes.
So you get to shop 4 shops in one day.
In 1 hour. So
In
it's
1
not
hour.
like it's taking a huge chunk
No, but
out of your weekend, right?
you get to see the very best of that shop, what that shop has
Yeah.
to offer, and you can buy that
Yeah.
and then go to the next shop.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, look out, credit card. Here we come.
Well, so yeah, and it's just an opportunity to kind of see all these great shops that are, doing their very best
Yeah.
to provide, community.
And yarn entertainment.
Yes. And beautiful yarns. So each shop will kind of focus on one thing or two things or three things that are special, whatever they can fit into that time frame.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be a wonderful little journey.
Yes.
There's also free patterns. So there'll be 2 patterns, a crochet pattern and a knitted pattern.
Nice.
And the idea is that you'll cast on, and as you're coming to each shop, you can work on your pattern, and you can, show it off in the pre-shop chat. You can show off your pattern, and we'll watch it grow.
So it's like a knit along and yarn festival retreat.
Yeah. We thought, wouldn't it be fun if, you bought some yarn from several shops and you put it into your project, and then, by the end of the crawl or towards the end of August, you'd have something where you could say, this is kind of like my roadmap of everywhere I've been, because I've got all these different beautiful yarns. It's a great way to support local yarn shops. It's a great way to
travel,
see the people and the places behind it. And then we'll also be giving you information about the fall lineup for Fiberside Chats.
Okay.
So it's all going to be great.
In our kit, we have to remember to give away the podcast on pins.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So add that as a free gift to every package that everybody orders, so that they can have a souvenir of Edmonton.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. And so that's that. Yeah.
Okay.
And more information will be coming. There'll be a website where you can register. The cost will be $10 US, and that's going to pay for the patterns, the Zoom, the shipping. Oh, because I didn't mention there's prizes. And so there'll be, prize drawings, and then those prizes will be mailed out to the lucky winners.
Oh, fantastic. So that $10 registration covers all the shipping costs that might have to be paid.
All the admin, we had to create a new website, and we had to create. There's merchant fees involved, and there's all kinds of stuff.
We would pay $10 to get into a fiber festival, so that's
peanuts. And did I mention this? The sessions will be recorded. So if one Sunday you miss out, or you come in late, or you have to leave early, you can still see the shops that were on that day. We'll put it all up on a YouTube channel. So
it just keeps getting better and better.
These are the most creative marketing geniuses around, because yarn shop owners really have to think on their feet all the time.
There you go. So this is the way to support your local yarn shop. There are 32 of them in this summer. So, Okay. Let's move along.
Yeah. Let's talk about finished objects.
Okay. All right.
So I have none.
No, but she's been starting a whole lot of them. So we'll see some works in future progress from you later, right?
We're going to talk about finished objects, then we're going to talk about whips, works in progress, and then we're going to talk about Cynthia's whiffs, which is like the whiff of an idea or a work in, what did I call it? Future? Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's start with finished objects, because you have 2.
I have 2.
Not just 1, but 2.
Yeah.
Let's start with the fun one.
Okay, so you may have heard about Sarah Shiras from Imagined Landscapes, her Gnome Mystery Knit Along. And here it is. This is our version. This is Gnocchi.
Right.
Right? And Gnocchi is a fun story about a gnome chef who likes to, prepare gourmet meals, and she's got this whole story around it. It's so cute. You have to go to her website, Imagine Landscapes, or to Ravelry, I would imagine. There's probably the whole story is there. But Sarah has been working diligently every week at sending out clues to this mystery gnome, and the last one launched a week or so ago, And now I can show this guy. He's been under wraps for so long because it was a test knit, and we couldn't show him until all the clues had come out.
And you test knit yours in a worsted weight yarn. Everybody
right.
else did theirs in fingering weight.
That's what I understand, although people are so creative. I bet you they would have, you know, can you imagine doing this guy in big wool? You know, this is worsted weight, and probably the other ones are probably about this size in fingering weight, maybe a little bigger, because I saw Sarah's. It looks really cute, and it's a little bit bigger than this. But if you had jumbo yarn, I mean, you could have one that was like huge, right?
You're just dying to do it in big wool, aren't you?
I am dying to do it in big wool. I think I might.
Yeah?
I'm going to do one gnome in big wool.
When you were working on this one, we did say it was probably big enough to be a doorstop. I like the idea too. There's a mushroom on the hat.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking the nose looks like a bit of cannelloni.
Doesn't
and then you had spaghetti for the,
I know.
the whiskers. So you put together some kits for this.
I did. And I named this one Gorgonzola.
The kit's
Risotto.
name is Gorgonzola?
Yeah.
And what's in the kit, Barb?
I'll hold that for you. Okay. In the kit are 2 balls of epic yarn. This is our wool. We have it right here behind us. It's just wonderful for gnoming because wool has memory. It just sticks together. It does color work beautifully, and I really love the way the hat turned out. I've seen we've sold a few kits, and I've seen a few hats already in other colors, and they just look great. You just need a dark color and a light color to do it.
So you made up 4 kits for this?
I think there were 3.
Or 3 kits?
Yeah.
And they all have Italian names, and one of them is pasta.
Okay.
And I'm afraid to pronounce it.
Okay. Well, risotto is like a rice dish.
Okay.
And a lot of people put lots of cheese in it, and gorgonzola is just, you know, a very pungent kind of beautiful cheese, and this kit has a skein of yarn in it that was dyed by Carolyn Sommerfeld at Ancient Arts.
That's the speckle right
That's
here.
the speckle, and it's just beautiful, and it just kind of reminded me sort of, you know, risotto with a little.
So in this kit, you get a full ball of navy.
Yeah.
And a full ball of silver.
Right.
And then a 50-gram skein of the speckle.
Of the hand-painted speckle. And then the pattern has you do these cute little color work down at the bottom. And then the bottom of it is square. And I love this way that she's done this because this guy stands up on its own.
Nicely,
you hardly even have to put any sort of weight in the bottom. And it was a fun thing to make. It was really quick. So the other kit that we have is called Pasta Fagioli Soup.
Ah, fagioli, because that's not how I would have said it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Pasta Fagioli Soup. And I could be, I probably don't have the Italian accent that
Did you have to say
my husband.
fagioli?
But,
sorry.
okay.
I'm sorry if you speak Italian. I really apologize because I have a terrible Italian accent.
Anyway, the soup is incredible. It's got pasta in it. It's got beans in it, and it's just the yummiest soup ever. It has a lot of garlic in it, and
so
my husband makes it all the time.
What colors are in that one?
Okay, well, the colors that we picked didn't have that much to do with the name of the soup. It was just one of my favorites.
Okay.
So our kit has a ball of marine blue, a ball of ivy, and a skein of a surprise speckle colorway from Caitlin at Over the Moon.
Right.
And Caitlin's been dyeing yarn for us, and we're going to have more gnome kits throughout the year that have beautiful
special hand-dyed colors.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Because it's so fun.
Right?
Right. The third kit's called Mushroom Basil Pizza.
Right.
Because you got to have a pizza dish in there.
Right. And that one has bison, the dark brown.
That's right.
And it has, don't tell me, grasslands, the light green.
A beautiful meadow green.
Right.
Yes.
And then it has a 50-gram skein of the forest, is it?
Woodsy, Into the Woods, it's called. Yep.
Which is also dyed by Carolyn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a beautiful speckle. It has about 5 shades of greens, from a mossy green through to a bright green to a foresty green, and as well a speckle of a really dark brown that matches up perfectly with the bison.
Right.
So yeah, it's fun. And lately on the website, we've put in these embellishment kits too. So we've taken some mohair that we had that's the perfect kind of like gnomey brown color, and put together little balls of it, embellishment kits. So you can make your beards and hairy arms and legs.
Can you buy the embellishment kit separately? Oh, okay. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. And then we found some other yarn that looks like a furry beard.
Right.
Some fur yarn.
Okay.
So have we been having fun with gnomes? You bet.
Yes.
All different sizes.
I have to say, we took these gnomes, you brought these gnomes to our booth at Fiber Frolic, and we put them up on a little shelf. And I swear people were coming from all over just to look at the gnomes. So they are very attractive. And the other thing about this one is it's very squishy. So if you wanted to do this particular gnome and gift it to a small person, it's kind of a nice toy.
I usually put washers in the bottom of my gnomes to help them stand up. And you have to be careful with this one because it could very well be like a weapon, right?
Right.
And
so this one has nothing in the bottom of it.
No, and it didn't need it either because it had this square bottom. It kind of stood on its own. But this is the latest one that I've come up with. This is this is leftovers from all of my gnome kits. So when you buy our gnome kits, there's...
Is it a pattern, or did you amalgamate patterns too?
I amalgamated patterns too.
Oh,
so I have several patterns from Sarah, and there's one pattern that has this cute kind of like round ball at the end of the hat that I love. And then I have the pockets.
Yes, there's little pockets in here.
Don't hit me, darling. And so I just took like bits and pieces from all the patterns and then made a little gnome out of my leftovers. So
did you put something in the arms?
I did. I put little pipe cleaners.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yay.
So you can make, there's so much yarn on the balls of Epic that you have leftovers.
Yes.
And that's a little embellishment kit that's included in some of the big kits.
Right. The beard is. It's a yarn that is organic. There's that word again. There we go.
So that's a little leftover gnome.
It's really cute, Barb. Really cute.
It's fun, hey?
He's itchy under his beard. Lovely.
They have such personality.
They do.
You know, I just have a plant pot that I photograph them beside at home.
A pot plant, did you say?
I have a plant in a pot.
Okay, got it.
Okay, this is definitely a 70s theme. I can tell.
Because you were growing pot in the 70s?
Maybe.
What else have you finished, Barb?
Oh, I also did an easy folded poncho.
Where do you find the time?
Yeah, well, you know, this one was easy. I did it out of Rowan cotton wool.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, I have already been thinking about fall. A lot of the companies have been coming out with, you know, yarns and showing us what they're going to have for fall. And this colorway I was in love with when they first came out with it. It's called Nutkin.
Oh yeah, it's a really interesting color. Like it's almost got a pink hue to it.
Yeah,
hey?
It does. And it looks amazing with pink. There's quite a bright pink called Piglet. And it looks really nice with this one too.
This is not Piglet.
This is not Piglet. Okay. But there's one that's really bright and that looks great with this. And this one. This one looks wonderful with it too. This one looks great with this one. This looks great with this.
So how many balls of cotton wool did it take to do the easy folded poncho?
5.
5, okay.
Yeah. And I could have used an extra one if I wanted to do the cowl.
Right.
But I left it off. I like to, you know, kind of wear it without and then...
So is this a DK weight yarn?
Yeah.
Because I know the easy folded poncho calls for a DK weight.
Yeah, let me double check on that, Cynthia.
Maybe it looks a little thicker.
130 meters. So
to 50 grams.
to 50 grams. But I did get 20 stitches on here. So
it feels a bit more substantial than the easy folded poncho made out of Rowan felted tweed.
And that's because I did it at a tighter gauge.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I knit this one at a little tighter gauge, and I did three swatches at 3 different tensions on my knitting machine.
Okay.
And this is the one that I like the best.
Yeah.
And the I did it looser.
Beautiful.
And the looser one, I thought, because this is on the bias and it's going to be hanging down, I thought it would be too long.
Oh, okay.
And then the tighter one, the one would be great for a sweater, but I like this one the best. And so this is such a cozy piece.
Yeah.
This feels like polar fleece t-shirts.
Right.
And the construction of this yarn, so nice.
It's a chainette construction. So you get the thickness of the yarn, but it's got a lot of hollow spaces in it. It's like a tube. And so when you knit it up, you can't tell, like it looks like a regular plied yarn. But because of all that air, you're going to get something that is warm and insulating and yet light.
Very light,
yeah. Nice.
And I'm going to see how this wears, but I have the feeling that this will not pill.
I think you're probably right about that, Barb. I think the chainette construction is helpful.
Yeah.
No, an easy folded poncho is not really something that pills so much anyway.
It doesn't have any armpits.
Exactly,
right?
yeah. Sweaters. I noticed on my sweater too that where I hang my, my bag, my over-the-shoulder bag, that's where I find it pills too, is wherever that strap is running, and of course my arms rubbing on the side. Those pills are easy to take care of, right? You can just pull them off, or you can use a gleaner to get rid of them. Even a fabric brush, the lint removers. I remember our parents used to have wool suits, right? Like our dad's dress-up suit was made out of wool. And after he wore it, one of them would go over it with a fabric brush before you hung it in the closet.
Yeah.
And that keeps the pilling down.
That reminds me, people have to watch the Fiber Frolic, because I took footage of the ladies that have the recycled wool booth.
Oh, is it J&J wool? Yes.
They had the most amazing easy folded poncho done out of cashmere, recycled cashmere sweaters.
So did they take it apart and then knit it again?
Yeah.
Or did they?
No, they took it and they sewed it.
Yes.
It was like a patchwork, which gave me the idea I could do one of these in hand spun in patchwork.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, perfect. Okay, well, hang on to the end of the video and you'll see our little tour of the Fiber Frolic. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, so that's my FOs.
That's finished objects. Okay, so let's talk about works in progress, of which there are many, but we will limit this to maybe just one, because currently we're doing a knit along called the Solicitude Cal, or the Solicitude Wrap Cal. And this is, again, another kind of fundraising idea. Justina Lorkowska is the designer of the Solicitude Wrap, and she is dedicating the proceeds of the sales of this pattern to a food bank in her hometown of Pila in Poland, where they have large refugee assistance for Ukrainians. Yeah. And so we thought, this is a really good idea. Let's encourage everybody to buy a copy of the Solicitude Wrap
or
pattern.
two. Yeah, give one to a friend.
Yeah, and then join us for a knit along. So we've been doing. Did you bring yours with you?
I did, yeah.
So we put together some kits as well, just in case you needed help with yarn. But again, purchasing a kit is not a requirement to join the knit along. And so I've got one here that I'm working on with 2 strands of Juniper Moon Findley and a little bit of Shibui Sima. And so the pattern is written for a lace weight yarn held double you could use a thicker yarn and hold it single. And that's as far as I've gotten so far.
Yeah.
And then I started another one
Yes,
because I wanted to experiment with the edging on it. And this is a stash buster. This is some classic Elite that I had
Cool.
from before. And again, I'm double stranding it.
Is that silky alpaca?
I think so. Yeah, I think it is. I have the labels at home. It's a discontinued yarn. You can't find it anymore. So I'm not going to tempt you with it.
No, but a close substitute would be Rowan fine lace.
Yes, exactly.
That's going to be nice.
Yeah, so I thought I would, we're doing, in addition to the knit along is a series of 3 Zoom events. One has already passed, so it's done, but you can still join in. There's 2 more knit along events. And at the knit alongs, we talk to you about how you're doing with your project. We kind of troubleshoot any kind of issues that you're having. And for the first one, I created a few tutorial videos. So if you join up now, you can still have access to the tutorial videos. And that's why I needed to have the second one, so that I could talk about an alternative edging and show a few examples of how to do the patterning on here. So we've got some tutorials, online video tutorial support. And so we'd love to have you come along. What are you using, Barb?
I'm using a skein of Findlay and some Shibui Sima.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I totally mixed mine up. And I think this is the thing, we tried to knit ahead so that we could help out anybody who needed help with the pattern.
So you're using 1 strand each of 2 different yarns?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic.
And I'm trying the new edging that you came up with.
Okay.
This was my first piece. I got to about here and I changed yarns and then I stopped because my edge started to sort of curl.
Yeah.
So I got quite a ways along though, hey?
And you can still see perhaps the edge, like with washing and blocking. And stretching.
Yes.
So by blocking, in this case, we mean stretching. You might be able to get that edge to come out a bit. But
I could, and I could probably even block this piece too. It's kind of
right. This got a little. This one was thicker than this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was, for me, it was kind of like a great way to swatch the pattern and to really get familiar with the pattern. Because now I'm knitting this one and I'm so much faster.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's funny how just a little change can make a difference. So, I mean, that's the sacrifice that we make for you guys, right? We knit all these swatches and make mistakes and...
So that hopefully you don't have to. Yeah.
That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, and so, maybe we won't get completely done, but we'll have some beautiful swatches to show afterwards.
Yeah. So the next CAL event, I'm just looking at my list here. The next CAL is going to be it's on June 4th. So, and this podcast is out on June the 7th. So you can still join us for the last one, which will be on June 25th. And again, we just want to, give you a sense of fun and excitement. And we're recording the sessions. So, if you're just finding out about it now, no worries. You can still catch up and join us on June 25th. And I don't think we'll be finished. We'll probably be a little ways
We might have started a third one already.
We might. It's actually kind of a fun project to start because it starts at the narrow end and then it gets wider. And I guess the good thing about that too is you could end it early.
And it starts with garter stitch, which is pretty darn easy.
Yeah.
So just knit.
So the tutorial covers some alternatives for the edging. And then I noticed your ball of Findlay was looking a little rough for the wear. So I do include a tutorial on how to rewind it into a center pull ball because when you're working with lace weight yarn, this can happen, right?
Yeah, you don't want to tangle this because that could be a bit of a,
yeah.
This one I actually wound into a center pull ball on my thumb.
Yeah.
Following your video.
Aw. Perfect. Good for you. It looks really nice.
Yeah. I did it during the hockey playoffs. Yeah.
Oh, and the ball doesn't look too excited, so you must have stayed calm. Perfect. Good job, Barb.
All right. So that and here I was just looking. So, you know, this idea about a patchwork,
Oh,
easy folded poncho,
sure, why not?
you know, you could just pick up and keep on knitting.
Yes.
Let's grab this one. Oh, yeah.
Maybe
These
not.
colors, I'm just thrilled with these new fall shades. I keep seeing all these coppers and burnt oranges and beautiful golds.
Yeah.
And, you know, stay tuned for some colors coming in Epic Yarn.
Perfect. Okay, so that's our works in progress. So let me tell you about my whiff.
Okay.
Okay, so my daughter has a friend who's having a baby.
Yay.
And she was telling me that, and you know, any friend of my daughter is a friend of mine, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, if you don't have
yes.
a baby to knit for, what else is there, right? And her favorite color, Mom's favorite color, is yellow. So I was going through Camp Color, and I came
Yes.
across all these gorgeous yellows.
Don't they have the palette
They
to
do.
dye? Yes.
Yeah. And so Connie helped me. We kind of pulled all the yellows out and we set them out. And then we were trying to find another color to balance off it because I thought I'd make a baby blanket. And so we're going to, you know, it's going to be cream with these 5 yellows. And then you gave me this fantastic idea, which is to do a gradient, but to, you know, work it double-stranded. And then, you know, you can do 2 strands of this, and then the next segment will be 1 of this and 1 of this, and then 2 of this, and then 1 of this and 1 of this. So it creates a really nice blend in the blanket.
Beautiful.
And then I've added cream at the end because I think it's a nice clean color, looks really nice with the yellow. And so I'm just going to go from one end to the other, and I've decided to crochet it.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to use the Churchmouse Yarns and Tea vintage crocheted blanket. It's the one I've done for Rachel and Hayden when they were babies. And so
that's the one with the V stitch, right?
yes,
That
and the
is
double V stitch.
And the double V stitch. So that is the most beautiful design I think I've seen in crochet.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit of time and patience to get started, but once you get started, you're always doing a V stitch and a V stitch and a double V in the middle of a double V, and so you know, you get this little rhythm going, and it works up quite quickly. And
I have to tell you, I love the colors that you put together.
Good.
I love the fact that you've got this color right where it is.
Yes.
I think that's going to create such a beautiful pop right in the middle of that blanket.
Yeah.
And so do you think that 8, is it 8 skeins? 6?
Yeah, I got 8.
Will that do your blanket?
I think so. I have to, you know, I'll have to crochet a row and weigh it. And that's how you tell, right? So crochet an entire, weigh your yarn before the row, weigh your yarn after the row, and then you'll know how many grams it took you to complete the row.
Right.
And then you can extrapolate from there. So I'll see how many rows I need. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that's brilliant. That's
I think so. I'm really excited about starting something.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not, right?
No,
Yeah.
that's it. So
I do. And this Camp Color is 100% merino in a fingering weight, and it is so soft and squishy. I've been using it in another special project. So let me push this off to the side here and bring out these. These are
this is our blanket collection.
Yes, yes. This is mine. This is yours. You've been going gangbusters on this.
Well, I kind of forgot to do one for last month, but
it's not hard to catch up.
No.
Right? So this is the Mitered Memories blanket. This is the project that we've been working on with Yarnicorn.
In memory of our grandma, Grandma Tutton.
Yes. And at the end of the year, we're going to be doing something special with these blankets. So
yes, we're raffling them off.
I'm connecting mine. And each month I use the Yarnicorn plus a color of Camp Color together to create my blanket. And so it's going to be really bright and colorful. I think this will make a nice baby blanket.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
Done. Yeah. Or someone who's particularly prone to jewel tones like me will enjoy this one. And you've been doing yours in pieces.
Yeah. So I've just been doing 2 at a time and putting them together. And this too is our Yarnicorn, which is all about, you know, fun, whimsy, happiness, in a tough year.
Magical. Yes.
Yeah.
And when it's gone, it's gone.
That's right.
This
yeah.
colorway that I'm holding up is the first Yarnicorn that we did this in January. And this one is all gone.
Yes.
You can't get this anymore.
That's right.
It's kind of nice to have it put
Yeah.
in the blanket. And that is as well. I
That's
want
right.
to show, I want to hold that one up too, Barb, with this one.
Okay.
Because that shows like how different do those colors look when you pair it up with black versus the light blue. Isn't that cool?
Same Yarnicorn yarn in there for the speckles, but yeah, just a different look.
Yeah. And so your plan is to piece these together?
Yeah.
Are you going to find a pleasing kind of quilted design?
I think once I've got all the pieces made, then I'll kind of put them
Yeah.
together. And
Yeah. This one was the Trailhead Appalachian Yarnicorn.
So this is an example of using superwash merino with cotton. It can be done. And really a beautiful knit. I have to say that is a nice way of playing with the yarn to figure out what it will feel like and respond like.
And we sold this one originally with some mini skeins. So we had the green in a full skein, and then we had 2 or 3 pinks to go with it. 3 pinks. And so you can't get the green anymore, but I do think there may be some pink still available.
Well, and we just got restocked in Trailhead.
Oh.
And so we have some cotton.
Some new colors?
Some new colors.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
So yeah, the pinks can go along as little, they call them, I think they call them camp sets or something. Or,
oh, okay.
No, crew sets. They're called crews.
Okay.
And they come with 3 sort of minis in different colors.
Yep. And this one was Wild Birds.
Yes.
Was that, did I get that right? Rare Birds. Rare Birds. And you paired it with a yellow here. I paired it with a purple here.
Oh, let's have a look.
And so again, you get, you know, kind of 2 different looks with that. See that? This one and this one here. Yeah.
And was this your Trailhead cotton?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's do that. How fun is this?
Yeah, this is like bold and graphic.
Yeah.
And mine is more, let's say, playful. Yeah. This is more grown up. And then
what's
this
that one?
I think this one might have just been you playing around.
You're right.
I don't think this is not a Yarnicorn one. This is just you being fun.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. I mean, these mitered squares are kind of addictive. Every month I get really excited. Oh yeah. That one is, let me look at mine.
This is yours, isn't it? Oh.
January, February, March, April.
Okay. So this was something else.
This was, yes, this was Carolyn's. Yep, from Ancient Arts. Hold that
Okay,
one up.
well, oh my gosh, ours look almost the same.
They are, yeah.
This is yours?
One, yeah. Now let me hold up yours though, because they're almost identical. Yeah. So we did. This one came with a mini skein, and so we have the full color and then the mini skein. And I don't think we have any of this one left. No, it's all gone.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So so that's Yarnicorn up to now, and now we've got something brand new for you. So on June 20th.
We have one more to talk about.
Oh, right, because you didn't do this one. You're right. So this one is the last one. This was May 20th. This was Richard DeVries, and he did 3 colors for us in Theed. And I have to say, Barb, when I was knitting this up, I'd forgotten how soft and luscious Theed is.
Yes.
It's a sock yarn, and I keep thinking it's going to be like a sock yarn, but it's not. It's like...
No.
It's so soft. It's a merino nylon blend, and it's gorgeous. So I paired up 2 of the colors in here, and I really enjoyed knitting this one.
Yeah, it's really fat. Like it's got a lot of meterage.
Yep.
And
it's a plump fingering.
It's a plump fingering.
Yeah, with lots of bounce and kind of elastic. So there is some of this left. You can still get a little bit of this.
And we have. I love the way they wind the skeins.
It's wound really tightly.
Really tight. And unfurl it, and you wind it into a ball, and it's just so beautiful and big. And yeah.
So this month, we've got another beautiful yarn.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at that.
Okay. So this one comes all the way from Nova Scotia.
This one is Merino Singles from Handmaiden.
We've had this in the past.
Yeah.
We brought it back. We asked Janet to dye this for us in colors that are just for June.
Well, June is Pride Month. So we had that in mind for this one.
We did. And when we thought of Pride, we also thought of like unicorns. And you know how fun and whimsical that was. And so Janet sent us so many samples. We could not decide, and that's the honest truth.
Yeah.
We wanted something that represented pride and pridefulness, and at the same time, we loved this one too. So we had her make us both. We got this. This one has a little bit of black in it. I just want to show off the colors in the skein because it's so beautiful.
There's so many colors in here. And didn't Jana tell you how much fun they had making this?
Yes, yes. This was the highlight of their studio for about a week. And I think the prototypes they just loved making as well because it was so much fun to do it.
So this is a variegated yarn. And you can see that the amount of dye on it varies from spot to spot and place to place. And in some places, the colors are going to merge together and create new colors. When you knit this up, you're going to get very little pooling, and it's going to be more like a speckle because you can imagine you're only going to get a couple of stitches with each color.
Yes.
So I mean, you could make it pool. You could do some. This would be really fun to do Stephanie Pearl McPhee's color stacking class with this.
Oh my God! You get stripes going straight up. Whoa! Yeah.
But you can also just knit it. Just see what happens when you knit it because the colors are so amazing. No two skeins are alike either. So there's quite a bit of black in that one.
Can we show that one?
And this one has more brown and little, like more brown, less black. And this one has quite a bit of a field of white on it, whereas that one doesn't. Their skeins are really fat too. And by fat, I mean it's a smaller hank.
Can you line that up? What would happen if we... Okay, there's Cynthia's got two.
Right. So if I go like this...
You can see the turquoise across here. You can see the purple. The black starts to shift on this one. And there's less in this skein.
And then on the other side...
Wow, that is so cool.
It's a big difference, isn't it?
Big difference, yeah.
So if you wanted to take two of these skeins and put them into the same project, if you want to do a sweater with it, we recommend that you mix them up because you're going to get a stripe in there.
Unless you want that look.
Yeah.
Which is really popular too. People are looking for sort of like skeins that start to shift off and move and rotate.
Yep. The other thing is that, if you turn this, so here's the one that's really bright on the outside. If you turn it to the inside.
Aha, okay.
Okay, so this is what I mean. The way that Handmaiden dyes, it's called a pour-over method. They don't dunk the yarn. They paint on top of it. But sometimes it doesn't go all the way through.
Right.
And so what you'll find is that, like if you're using this to make socks, you may have socks that are slightly different from each other. One may be a different shade because as you work to the inside of the skein, you may lose some of that color intensity. Yeah. It's the wonderful, vibrant, mysterious quality of hand-dyed yarn using this method.
Yeah.
It's, every skein is different and unique
just
and beautiful.
Like unicorns.
Just like people. And this one we're calling Unicorn. So this one's called Pride, and this one's called Unicorn.
Yeah. This one's a pastel-y version, but we just couldn't resist bringing this one in too.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we have two.
And doesn't this just look like a unicorn?
Yeah.
Or isn't it unicorn poop? That's really colorful too.
This reminds generous. 400 meters, 437 yards. on a 113 gram skein. So it's a little bigger than a normal 100 gram skein, and that's why you got a little bit of extra yardage.
Yeah.
This is machine washable.
Okay.
And they're recommending that you knit it up on a 3 millimeter needle. You're going to get about 26 stitches to 4 inches.
Right. Now, we'll do a close-up of this for you as well, because I want you to see that on these skeins, you get this little bit of, look, a bit of corking that's happening here. And that's because this is not a plied yarn.
Right.
It's a singles yarn. And so it doesn't have that other ply to kind of balance, that your stitches will bias a little bit, that they'll fall to one side because of the direction of the spin. The other thing is, so if you are putting it into a sweater, it's a good idea to put in a few purl stitches into your stockinette pattern
That's
to
a
kind of balance
really
things
good,
off.
really good suggestion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to double strand it because I'm going to put some of this into my memory blanket.
Right.
And so that'll help to stabilize it. And I'm going to use garter stitch, which is a balanced stitch.
Camp color
Yeah.
to go with it? So
I am.
double strand of this and then double strand of camp color?
Yeah.
That'll help balance it too, won't it? Because that's a commercial yarn and it's spun really evenly.
The striping is also part of that, right? So the more things you can do to balance it off, the better. But you could also knit this into a shawl. It's something with holes in it will be just fine. It won't have that issue.
Like your birds of a feather.
Yeah. And the corking will work itself into the knit stitch. You don't have to worry about it being like that. Yes. So you could definitely do a birds of a feather out of this.
Oh my gosh. Turn that over. Look.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So to like 2 skeins of this,
Yeah.
I think, plus 3 of that.
Yes.
Would do. Birds of a Feather is quite a large shawl. This is a
Yes.
design by Andrea Mowry.
But go to Ancient Art's website and get some delicacy. Oh my gosh. There are 400 meters too on that delicacy. I don't know if you'd need 3, Cynthia, would you?
I think, I think
Birds of a Feather is a big piece
yes.
though. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Isn't that beautiful? I mean, you could do a hot shawl too with one of these and one of these.
Yeah, and use that in the center.
Yeah.
For the, yeah, that would be perfect. Okay, so Yarnicorn, Unicorn, and Pride go up for sale on June 20th. It is one of those, buy it while you can options, and it's Merino Slim from Handmaiden. So speaking of Handmaiden, we got another really nice purchase. Yeah.
A little box arrived.
All right, tell us about this, Barb.
Okay, so for those of you, if you're heading to a national park on your vacation, consider picking up a skein of this. The folks at Handmaiden Fleece Artist in 2017 designed yarns around 13 of the Canadian national parks.
One for each province and territory.
Right. But we found out that there are more than 13 national parks.
There are.
Yeah. In fact, we found out there's one about an hour away from our hometown.
Or 35 minutes, depending on whether Cynthia or Barb is driving.
Yeah. And so Janice said, hey, you guys, we have just designed a colorway for your national park, Jasper. And so we jumped on this. We have a very limited amount of this, but we still have some. And this is Jasper National Park. And it was inspired by a sunset over Maligne Lake. And it's amazing. This is on, the colorway is just gorgeous. It's got these beautiful sunsets and reds. And then she was also inspired by shadows on the mountains. And if you've ever been to Jasper, driving in, you'll know it. Like it can be the middle of the day, bright sunshine, and you're suddenly dark because the mountains are just right there, right beside you. They're so big, they're so tall, and it's completely shaded.
Yeah.
And then the whole, the forests, the trees, it's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. The intensity of color in here is really nice.
Yeah, and I can see how this is Jasper.
Yeah, you got the granite, you got the forest, you got the sunset. Yeah. It's lovely. And this is on the vine base.
Yes, this base is so beautiful. This is her merino wool with these nubs, these viscose nubs. And there's 3 colors of nubs in here. There's a white, there's a gray, and then there's a dark sort of brown. And the thing that's so cool about it is that the white ones show up really well on a dark color, and the dark ones show up on a light color.
Yeah. Last month in episode 65, I showed you my Amic Lake sweater, and that's also done in vine. And so on the main part of the sweater, I did it in vine plus Woolstock light, and so you can see, you know, across my belly, all the little nubs that show up in the color work. So in the main part of the sweater. So it's really gorgeous.
This is also considered to be a single.
Yes.
And we've, Cynthia teamed her sweater with Woolstock Light, which is another beautiful single. And it's available in 50 grams, 200 meters. So it's almost identical in weight and gauge to this.
Well, and I think that Amic Lake sweater would be beautiful in this colorway. And I would probably do the yoke in like a cream, a gold, a black. You know, you wanna pull out colors that aren't represented here and that will contrast. So actually the color of the nubs, you know, that beige, the cream, and maybe a black in there just to add a bit of contrast would be lovely with this one. Yeah.
So have a look at this if you're interested in a beautiful tweedy merino.
Unique, one of a kind, Nova Scotia dyed yarn. Yep.
And then next month we'll have something to celebrate Elk Island Park with.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Something fun coming.
Okay. Well, I think other than our little photo collage, oh no, we're not done yet.
We're not?
Well, no, because we have some big events to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I want to let you know that you should come and join us on June 18th with Holly Yo for a class called Darn It.
Oh, I love this class.
This is a 3-hour class that's all about mending. You don't have to be a knitter to be able to take this class. Holly's going to talk to you about ways to mend your commercial knits as well as your hand knits. So you should definitely come out for that. Holly's an excellent instructor. She does a great job of demonstrating all the ways that you can mend your work. And she invites questions. So if you've got a particular problem, like a moth ate a hole in your sweater and you want to know how to fix it, this is the class to take. Kate Atherley.
Or I snipped the tag off the back of my sweater and created a hole. Oops.
Yes.
Yeah, what do I do now? Yeah.
Or snags, your hand knit sweater you caught on the hanger and you've got this huge snag in it. What do you do with that? Yeah, she's perfect with that. Also, Kate Atherley is coming on June the 15th to do a class for us on custom fit knee highs. I love knee highs, but finding patterns for them and finding patterns that fit are a big problem.
We got to re-knit our knee-high pattern then.
Yeah, we have a pattern called Rock'em Socks that was designed for us by Barb Brown, and it's in Hat Trick and Hat Trick Semi-Solid.
Yes.
And I have a pair of those on the go. But the problem is that my legs keep getting curvier and curvier. So yeah.
That's all that cycling you've been doing.
I wish. I don't care. I feel like curvy legs that's just who I am, and so I'm going to embrace it.
Yeah.
But taking this one, Kate's going to talk to us about what measurements to take and where to take them, and how to adjust your gauge.
Custom fit a sock.
Yeah. So she'll explain it to you so that you can take your favorite sock pattern and make it taller, right? So that's going to be a class that you don't want to miss. Kate does more of a lecture style, and so it's a 2-hour class, and you don't have to do anything. There's no homework. You might want to find your favorite sock pattern and ask questions about it, but she's going to take you through a how-to.
I also think, Cynthia, that everybody should buy Kate's sock book
Yes.
because it's perfect. You don't even have to have a pattern, really. Kate has this whole bevy of patterns in her sock book.
She is brilliant.
Yeah.
And she's humorous.
Oh, I know. She's got the best sense of humor.
She does. And she's got such a cute little pixie kind of impish look on her face when she's in the camera. Like you just like, oh, what's she gonna say next?
I know. I just want to hang out with her, just spend a few hours with her. And that's the whole thing that I love about Zoom is you get to spend a whole hour with,
Or two.
yeah, with someone like that. It's like being in the same room with them. It's like a
It is.
party. I just love it. And Bud too. I love every one of her classes.
Yeah. So we have another favorite instructor coming up as well. In early July, Fiona Ellis is coming back to do Knitting as Mindfulness with us.
Oh.
That'll be on July the 9th. And
Those classes are so great.
They are. They are. And so it's a bit of, what'd you say?
It's like sitting and having a chat with someone like about peace and mindfulness and relaxation and knitting and yoga, and it's everything all in one.
She'll present you with some exercises, some knitterly exercises to do, and it will help you to. So this one is about strengthening and deepening your knitting skills. So she's actually going to talk to you about how to improve your skills, but also understand what's happening
To your body.
Yeah. Reduce the tension and the stress, maybe some of the anxiety around it.
For me, it was just an awareness too, you know, of how I was sitting and how sometimes when I'm really trying to figure out a pattern, I get stressed and I can see my shoulders just keep moving up, you know, like this.
Yes.
And Fiona actually saw that on the camera and kind of gave me a nudge to, you know, kind of like relax a little bit.
Right.
So it's true, isn't it? It's like
she will encourage you to close your eyes as well.
Yeah.
Right? And keep knitting.
Cool is that? Well, we can't give it all away. You have to just come and experience this for yourself because there'll be things that will be personal for you that it's all about a journey, right? A journey in. And her being a yoga instructor.
And a knitwear designer. It all melds together.
It all melds together.
Yeah. And then we also don't want to leave without telling you about the Fiberside chat that's coming up with Marie Green. She's going to be talking all about ease and how that affects your sweater fit. So you definitely want to come and join in on that. Marie Green is a designer in the U.S. She goes under the name Olive Knits online, and she's the person behind the 4-day knit along.
It's 6th year.
Is it?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the knit along. What's the sweater?
This year's called Sail Away, and Cynthia and I are going to be knitting this. We're doing it out of our Epic yarn. It can be done out of a DK or a worsted weight yarn. And you get the pattern from Marie and you can knit it out of whatever you like. We're going to use Epic. And the shops are working along with Marie and having their own events.
Right.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. The idea is that you knit a sweater theoretically in 4 days. It's not really how it works. But it's 4 days worth of time, and it's going to happen on July the 1st. That's when it kicks off and everybody starts casting on and getting going.
Right.
That happens to be Canada Day for us.
Yes. So before July 1st, in the month of June, you can pre-order the pattern on Ravelry. And with your pre-order, you'll get swatching instructions.
Right.
You won't get the pattern just yet, but you'll get enough information to know how much yarn to buy, and you can start doing your swatch. So we're going to do a swatch party, knit along, and we're going to do that on Thursday, June 16th. And then the pattern, the official start date for the pattern and the day that you'll receive your pattern is July the 1st, which is Canada Day for us.
Which is Canada Day. We're going to be a little busy that day because we have our annual Canada Day sale that we're going to be doing.
So we'll do our cast on party on July the 2nd. It's a Saturday, and you're invited to come and, you know, cast on with us, and we'll get started on this 4-day sweater adventure. But just to circle back to Marie Green's Fiberside chat, that's taking place on June 19th. It's the same day as the longest day knit along with Ann Budd, but at a different time, so you won't miss out on any of the Zoom sessions with Ann Budd. And Marie Green will talk about her 4-day sweater knit along as well, but she's going to be focusing on ease. So that's a 1-hour time frame on June 19th, and tickets or your seats, your registration's available at Longmont's website, and we'll put in a link for that.
I just can't believe that we get to hang out with Ann Budd and Marie Green on the same day. I know. Like, how cool is that?
It's very cool.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's all the events that are happening in June. Although, you know, you never know. Sign up for our newsletter, because things can change. We can add things on at any time. To get our newsletter, you just need to go to our website, which is rivercityyarns.com, and at the bottom of every page there'll be a newsletter sign up. Yeah,
that's it. We hope that you've enjoyed this this
episode, this hour and a half
with us, and the sort of images that we shot at the Fiber Frolic here in Edmonton. We hope that it's given you a sense of some of the great makers that we have here in Canada and in Alberta. And we hope that you continue to join us. If you like this and you want to see more, hit the subscribe button and
thumbs up.
Yep. And we love doing it.
And we love to read your comments. We do try to respond to them, you know, as soon as we can. So please ask us questions, tell us what's on your mind, talk to us about what you're working on. We'd love to hear that. So leave us a comment in the comment section. You never know. Sometimes we give out prizes, so
definitely.
It's always worth leaving us a cheery word or two, and we'll see what happens over the course of the month. All right. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much. Take care, and we'll see you in a month. Hey Barb, I forgot to bring a mic today, so we have to talk really close to the phone.
Okay.
Okay, but we're here at the Fiber Frolic.
Yes.
Yeah, and we're in a sponsors lineup right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get a view of that. There we go. Welcoming speech. We'll close for a minute. Oh, Barb, we're home now and just kind of relaxing since Fiber Frolic, but what a great time, hey?
Isn't that amazing? So many vendors. I think there must have been at least 35, and such a variety of vendors, not just, you know, dye artists, but there were potters there, bag makers, felt makers, soap makers, so many different shops. It was great.
Yeah, exactly. And you and I both had a chance to kind of wander around a little bit with a video camera. And so I thought maybe we would, you know, kind of piece together our videos and maybe just chat a little bit about what we saw. We didn't capture everything.
No, we didn't. But we did capture some great footage, and I'd love to review that with you.
All right. Wanted to just get a little feedback on the Fiber Frolic, and Brenda was saying that she was there. Yeah.
Yes.
It was great. Enjoyed the day. It was great to see everybody and to be able to come together as a community since we've been apart for the last couple of years.
Right? Yeah.
And it was a great crowd. You know, it wasn't too busy. You could usually get around to each of the booths and talk to the vendors a little bit. And I thought it was a really nice group. Everyone was respectful of masks, and it was just great.
All right. So here, Barb, we're looking at a bag maker. Is that right?
Yes. Well, this is Andrea's hand spun. It's Andrea Geldart, and she's from Edmonton. She's a bag maker. She makes project bags and tote bags, all sorts of different bags. but she's also a fiber artist. And yes, look at these bats. I was quite enthralled with the number of dyers that were out there that were making rovings. But Andrea also does her own hand spun, which was very interesting. Right across the way was Ancient Arts.
Ah, yes.
Yes, and I must say I did get sort of sidetracked over by the mohair section. There were a few that came home in my bag with me, but what a fun booth Carolyn and Dan had. There's Dan. Hi, Dan. This was a great vendor too, Cynthia. Crafty Bones. She had all sorts of different, really different things. The one thing that attracted me were these little sort of sheepskin inserts for slippers.
Right.
They were really cute. And she had a whole line of her own branded merchandise.
Yeah, that t-shirt looks like it had like a crochet schematic on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lovely. You can't have too many project bags, right?
No. And she had mugs and lots of crocheted cushions. Okay, 2 times infinity. Another fiber artist. More bats, yes.
Aren't those gorgeous?
Aren't those beautiful? They just look like candy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really a beautiful booth.
Sarah's Fiber Arts. I love those bags that go over your arm.
I know. Those are really nice.
Aw.
This lady had quite a few books and notions. I thought that she had a real interesting display. And kits too, so she had some great projects that you could just, pick up, go, and make.
Right. Oh, this is our friend, Blackbird Knitting and Needlework. It's
Do you remember her name?
Carmen, I think.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and this is cool. We're gonna chat with these folks here in just a second. Smiling Sheep Fine Arts.
The 2 ladies from Smiling Sheep. Beautiful yarns, great patterns. They have quite a few designs. Mm-hmm. And they also do something called karaoke night, which sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think we've got a section here where you're talking to them.
Mm-hmm. Aren't these great? Look at the patterns.
So all of our colorways are named after songs. It might be the song title, it might be a snippet of the lyric, but everything is music and color makes the world come alive. We do a workshop that where you get to dye your own yarn, and we call that karaoke because you're singing your own, you're dyeing your own. We supply the dye, we supply the PPE and all the equipment necessary. You get to turn your creativity onto your yarn and see what you come up with.
That sounds like a lot of fun. How often do you do these?
We normally do it at specific markets and events. We would do private bookings for small groups.
Okay.
But it is an absolute blast.
Can it be done on Zoom?
No. Because we can't supply the yarn or the dye.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Okay, so you guys were telling me about this karaoke night and that you're actually going to be at a few locations. Can you share that with us?
Yes, our next one coming up is June 11th at the Bigger Fiber Fair. After that, we are at the Prairie Fiber Fest in Lacombe, doing a karaoke workshop as well. And then up to Prince George at the Great Northwest Fiber Fest.
Fantastic. So if someone wants to get in contact with you, how can they do that?
They can email us at smilingsheepfineyarns@gmail.com.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, ladies. You do beautiful work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ginger Snaps had some very pretty yarn there. I came home with a bit of it.
Me too. Yes, I love her barber pole stripe. I think she calls it psychedelic.
I think she calls it zebra, isn't it?
Zebra, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's dyed with black light dyes, so they glow in the dark.
Yeah, it's really cool. And this was their lumberjack plaid. I came home with a bit of that too.
Oh, I'm so happy you got that one. I didn't get a chance to, but Kim said that was one of her most popular yarns last year. Yes. Okay, here I'm over at Fireweed Fiber Co. Hello, ladies.
Hi.
Hello. Can you just give us a little bit of info about your company?
Yeah, so my name is Erin. I'm based out of Winnipeg. I've been dyeing for about 6 years, 2 years of that as a company, not just for my own stash.
Okay.
I like dyeing really bold, saturated colors and speckles. And just
we can see. Oh my gosh, these are just beautiful. Do you have a favorite?
My favorite yarn changes every day.
Okay.
But right now, I would say my favorite is this purple.
And
it's called Grape Hyacinth.
Okay. And this base?
This is my sock base, so sweet pea sock.
Great. Now, if somebody wants to buy some of this, where can they find you?
I have a website.
Okay.
It's fireweedfiberco.com.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Are you filming, Barb?
I am now.
Okay.
Great. Tell me, what have you guys got here today?
Well, we're JJ Wool, and we upcycle old sweaters, suits, blankets, scarves into other things. And we've just started doing a lot of bags. We started with mittens and skirts in the winter. And so this is Jan, and I'm Jen. That's where the JJ comes from.
The JJ, okay. Mm-hmm. And let's have a quick little look here. JJ Wool Company, Jan and Jennifer. Yay. Okay, great. Show us briefly what you've got here today.
Okay, well, the main thing for this event is the project bags. Which are all made with
oh my
suits. God. Some are wax canvas. They have some wool inside. This is an old Australian raincoat, oilcloth.
Wow.
Pieced together suits. So we've got various sizes of drawstring bags.
And these are all made from recycled, sort of like suiting materials.
Yes. Wow. And this is Firefly Toad, it's called. And we had bigger ones before. It's got a cashmere scarf here. And then
wow, would that have been an original pocket?
No.
No,
okay. That's a pocket that's made. And then we've made these little backpacks, a drawstring backpack with wax canvas on the base.
Oh, isn't that cute?
And then if they are from Harris Tweed, we take the label out of the suit. And
lovely.
Put it in. Yes. And then these are our tote bags. This one kind of demonstrates how we've used the front of a suit, taking the pockets from there, and then the other side is from a back of a suit.
That's so cool. So that is really original, right from the garment itself.
Yes, they all are. This has a zipper closure with pockets inside. Zip, zip. A zip pocket and a slip pocket.
Nice. You can pop your cell phone in there.
Leather handles. And then various sizes of zip cases.
So perfect for notions and things.
Notions, yeah. And these bigger ones, so here's, okay. Let's say this one has got a cabled Irish sweater. That was a suit jacket. This zipper is recycled from a sweater. And these bigger ones are meant for knitters, particularly because they've got
that DPN
canvas
holders.
Yeah, and
Nice handles. You guys have such a great attention to detail.
And then just a couple of our other things. Okay, more about. This is basically the same stuff. Then we've done these blankets, which is like a million different sweaters pieced together.
Wow.
So when we had leftover sweater from when we were making our mittens and skirts in the winter, when we pieced it all together, it's a big throw size. It's got a quilting brushed cotton quilting fabric back. And then the last thing we have here today is our cashmere sweaters made into ponchos. So various cashmere sweaters, and well, this one is cashmere, but oftentimes we'll have one square of wool or something.
Yes. Now I think I saw Jen wearing that earlier. Yeah, and that was the one that I was personally coveting.
Yes, they've been very popular today, and it's basically the pattern of the church mouse folded poncho.
Easy folded poncho, yes.
That's where I got the dimensions.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jen.
Okay.
The yarn habit. Tell me about this one, Barb.
Yeah, well, these guys, this was at the very end of the day, and I think they were out shopping. But they had such pretty yarn, I just had to take some pictures, some video footage. There's a tweed sort of base. I had t-shirts and lots of amazing colorways. I think these ladies are from Grand Prairie.
I think you're right, yeah. I think they may sell some of their yarns at Hippie Strings.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think so.
Yeah, I loved all the dyers this year with their brights. You know, they had quite a few sort of psychedelic colors and for spring. This was a pretty shawl kit.
Yeah, and
I think that's why.
Kits are great, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's perfect. Well, there we are. We've come to the end of our little video presentation. And so we hope that you enjoyed coming along with us to the Fiber Frolic, even if it was virtually, if you couldn't come along. We will put the names and websites or Instagram handles for the vendors that were at the Fiber Frolic into the show notes down below. So if you want to follow up with any of those vendors that you saw in our clip, you'll be able to contact them directly.
Do check them out. This is kind of their one opportunity every year to really kind of make the money that they need to continue on. So if you see anything that you like, we encourage you to go and check it out and buy it on Etsy or their website.
Exactly. Okay. Thanks so much, Barb.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. See you all later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.